How's everybody going? McNeil coming to you from the garage. Still working on this guy, trying to get everything dialed in before I make a mold, which is why I'm making the video, because I actually have a question for those of you who are super good at making molds. So here's the question. How in the world am I going to make a mold of this guy? Traditionally I would, make a mold line. And in this case, I think I probably would go behind the ear because I would love not to have to separate these complicated shapes with a mold wall. That's the kind of stuff that makes me crazy, is creating mold walls and whatnot. So yeah, I generally would, follow the line of this up and then around and then maybe right up through there. Make a two-piece mold. And this isn't a Lana head, so this guy's got a ton of clay. So I'm honestly not that worried about it being a separation issue between the two halves. But what I am worried about is this mouth, because this is pretty doggone thin, right? We're like maybe here, and this is very long, which means that when I separate the mold, if this piece does not come out in one section, and same thing with this upper piece, because again, it too is pretty thin, something like that. I'll really have to dig in there, and then these lips have this sort of overhang, and boy, that is really thin. And to get a tool down in there to pull that clay out is going to be a challenge. So I'm brainstorming, trying to figure out how to do this without having to make like a three-piece mold. Because I think that a three-piece mold would entail maybe a piece for the mouth, and then maybe it would be a four-piece mold, right? And I just don't want to deal with that many seam lines, I don't want to have to, and I've never dealt with that before. So I'm looking for some suggestions here. My other thought would be, I've got separate gums for this guy, would be to cast him specifically with the lower gums in place without the teeth, so that the teeth will still be separate. Because if you look here, the way that his lower gums, they really do sort of blend right in. So I could put those gums in here and blend them into the edges, which would then thicken up this area here, making it easier to get clay out. And then on the top, what I think I would do is probably just make a clay plug so that it would thicken all of this, leave me an edge so that I would know where to cut when I get them out of the mold. And then so you would end up with a mask and a separate gum for the top, and then acrylic teeth. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure this out. So anybody who's worked on a werewolf or something with a snout, something with an elongated face like this that's, sort of complicated, let me know how you did it. I'd love to know. And if you have a picture of that mold or something, post it in the comments below, because trust me, I'm not the only one trying to figure this stuff out. I think everybody would benefit from seeing how in the world am I going to do this. Yeah, and you know what? If you're in LA and you're a mold maker and interested in giving me a hand, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do here, that would be awesome. I'll pay you. So anyway, there you go. Let me know what you guys think is the best way to mold this guy. All right. I got to figure out something in this mouth. Have a good one, guys.